What's going on, everyone? Here we are back once again with a little bit more Outriders, and today I'm just going to be going over this gun right here, the one that I'm holding, the glowy blue one that looks absolutely crazy and organic, and that is the imploder. Now this is definitely one of my favourite guns to use in the game currently, and if you want to know why, then that's coming up next. Welcome back, all you guys and girls, as always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, and of course a lot more Outriders along the way. Then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon. But for today I'm going to be going over this gun right here, the imploder, why I really love using it, why I think it's one of the best guns in the game, and how I think you should kind of be using it in certain playstyles. So here we have the imploder, and this is a legendary double gun. Now I've liked double guns since the demo has come out. I find them easy to use. They're very possibly not the highest damage, so burst rifles at the moment seem to be kind of a little bit of king, but these are just really fun to use, really easy, and just kind of a nice all-purpose gun. This one, as you can see, kind of looks really nice. The blue glowy flashy effects really do set it off. Now I was lucky enough, as you can see down here, to get this one on a really high roll. This is probably the highest roll that I've had on a gun, and I'm quite happy about that because I use this gun very often. Now one of the really good things with this, although it won't obviously increase your damage too much, it is the fact that it gives you weapon life leech, which can really help you if you're struggling in those kind of later situations, tier 15s, or you just need a bit of life leech somewhere to get a bit of health back. This gun is really viable and does keep you alive. It gives you heal and receive, again keeps you alive, always good, and close range damage. Not bad at all. Probably not the exact set I'd pick. I probably would have had status in there somewhere, but to be perfectly honest, I think that is still quite good for keeping you alive, and the way you'll be using this gun, it's well worth having one of these on, especially weapon life leech. Now the main thing about this gun is definitely the mod that it comes with, deadly disturbance. Now I find that this tier 3 mod is kind of second to none. I'm guessing that the scrap grenade may well be able to outperform it in some situations, but this really does some significant damage. A lot of people were saying about bone shrapnel. I have tried this in conjunction with bone shrapnel, and I'm going to chuck on some gameplay in a few moments just to show you how devastating that actually is. It is so fun, but deadly disturbance still tops it out on damage, I find, pretty much all the time. Now the separate mod that I put on it is Shadow Comet. Now if you're going for that further away kind of shots and you want to be proccing it, or you're gun juggling, Shadow Comet is absolutely amazing. If not, I would say try to put on bone shrapnel. It is really fun, and it just makes some amazing effects. As you see, enemies completely burst, completely dissolve, they kind of pop like a firework, and then everything around them gets a big chunk of damage or dies as well. Now the clip size is 60, RPM 750, yada, everything over there is pretty standard as far as I can see. But as you can see just down here, it's kind of a very nice build. Accuracy, stability, and even the range isn't too bad. So it's a very versatile gun. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck on some footage, and then I'm going to talk in the background, letting you know my playstyle and why I think this is such a versatile and really good gun to use. Now the imploder is definitely on my top 5 list. I love using this gun. It is really good, it looks good, it plays good, it feels good, but it wouldn't work in all builds. I feel like this is a proper run and gun build. If you're using it for anomaly rounds, it may not be the one you use. I did find it quite hard to keep the ammo up. I found that the best way to use this for myself was to put on deadly disturbance and bone shrapnel, and if you can get some debuffs on the enemies or buff up your own gun damage as such, or just damage overall, everything tended to melt like butter. You were hitting some really high numbers, they were getting some added effects, everything was popping in an area. It was absolutely ridiculous fun to use. and especially on the kind of, I'm going to say, the squishier ads, so some of the ones that are slightly less than the elites, you would absolutely massacre them and take out whole squads of them at once. Like I said, for using anomaly rounds, I don't think this would be my overall preference, as it did tend to be a little bit tougher to kind of keep them up. I think you may well be able to do it, but I think you'd have to invest a lot into mods, and you may well take away from your overall build. I think if you're using this just as a gun to just chuck on, do a fair chunk of damage, not worry about using anomaly rounds, you're just going to use it in a normal build, this may be the one for you. Because as you can see, it does a fair chunk of damage, it makes everything melt like butter, and when you get those crits off, just everything gets exploded in a big area effect and just goes pop. For myself, I think this is almost definitely best to be used probably in an anomaly build. It will give you a lot of extra damage, it will give you a lot of versatility, and obviously you're not going to need to spec into firepower. That way you're not going to be worrying too much about rounds, you're probably not going to be using them, and this will give you that extra chunk of damage when your skills are down. I found that this was really good, really easy to use, and it just felt nice. I'm not going to lie, the overall playstyle of it felt nice, and I could tell that I was doing a lot of damage with it, even without kind of gun juggling. I wasn't needing to switch off, I was just running along, just using my skills, and then whenever I needed to kind of get an extra bit of damage on them, or burst a lot of enemies at once, I was just aiming for the head, trying to get that crit, or just getting the RNG crit that there is, and it was just doing a lot of area effect. Very fun and very nice to use in almost all of the anomaly builds, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but like I said, keep deadly disturbance, it does an absolute ton of damage, it really does. The critical shots activate an unstable anomaly affecting your enemy, causing him to explode, dealing 222,927 damage to other enemies within a 5 meter radius. It's on a 3-second cooldown, so you will notice that a little bit, but like I said, if you kind of chuck on Shadow Comet or you chuck on Bone Shrapnel, they also, I believe, have a 3-second cooldown, and it just means that you don't have to worry about too much. Every 3 seconds or so you will be getting that big explosion, you will be getting that big extra bit of damage, and you definitely will be massacring an absolute abundance of your enemies as you go and tear through them like butter. Now, one thing to note, this isn't quite as strong on some of the bigger enemies, so what you might want to do is have a way in your skill set to kind of do a bit of single target damage, either through a skill or through a move or through another friend, just to make sure you can take those bosses on and to clear those really easy and fast. But for ad clearing, for getting through the kind of levels, and for having a lot of fun and viability in your build, I found the imploder was absolutely amazing, and I use it on quite a few of my builds. Right, all you gamers, just a short one today to kind of show you what I think is a really nice gun to use, really easy and really fun. But yeah, even if you don't like this gun, you could very well deconstruct it and just chuck that mod onto a gun of your preference. Honestly, that mod is absolutely amazing and does such a lot of damage, you really will notice it in a lot of builds. But as always, I hope that's helped a few of you out, I hope you'll try it, and I hope you're lucky and get a nice roll. But as always, take care, I'll see you all next day.